Is hosting the biggest fight since the world came to a COVID screeching halt. For only the second time ever, the MGM Grand is home to a 4-belt world championship bout. The prized possessions are now center stage as the two champions are about to meet face-to-face for the news conference. On the far right is Teofimo Lopez's IBF belt. He earned it with one of the most impressive displays of power we've seen. Next to it is the WBA belt, a lightweight title won by Vasily Lomachenko, making him the fastest in history to be a 3-division world champ. His famed green belt of the WBC comes with elevated franchise status after winning it in 2019. And then Loma's WBO, the 135-pound strap he took with a viper-striking liver shot. Those 4 most desired treasures are up for grabs, and in moments the two men who own them meet up to discuss it all.
Teofimo Lopez, whether you hate him, whether you like him, you're still going to watch him.
Why a lot of people talking about Teofimo Lopez?
He has never faced a fighter like me. Fast, quick, strong. I can hit too.
What a knockdown by Lopez!
Who is this guy? He never fought any real top fighters. Hey, Teofimo, what Teofimo?
Loma has been worthy of all the hype.
Everybody's gonna know once we beat Lomachenko's over.
We got a monster, baby. I told everybody. He has done it.
Loma is on his way out. I'm on my way in. I might as well finish it the right way. Finish it with a bang.
So glad you were with us as we kick off Lomachenko-Lopez Fight Week inside the bubble in Las Vegas, our home for Top Rank Boxing on ESPN since the month of June, right about when this fight was agreed to. And ever since then, we've been waiting for this moment. Now, this is a pay-per-view worthy fight that you will be able to enjoy on ESPN. And as with all great events, we have continuous coverage of this fight for the undisputed lightweight world title. On Friday at 5 Eastern, we will air the weigh-in live on ESPN2, followed immediately by a live episode of Max on Boxing. And then Saturday at 7:30 Eastern, we begin our Fight Night coverage on ESPN with 4 undercard fights. Then our live main card begins at 10 Eastern with knockout artist Edgar Berlanga going for his 15th consecutive first-round knockout. I'm Bernardo Osuna, and I'm very proud to be joined by the best analysts in the business, former world champions Timothy Bradley and Andre Ward, and stellar essayist Mark Kriegel. Now, guys, we've been talking about this fight at our dinners, at our production meetings. We've been texting one another. So, Tim, get us started. What are your highlights as we move forward and we're here?
Well, to me, this fight represents more than just them belts you see behind us. It's about legacy for both these fighters tonight.
Well, for me, I just got to shout both the fighters out for even getting this fight done and being here this weekend. I mean, listen, it's not easy pointing out the other baddest man in your division or the other champion in your division and actually signing to fight them. They both done that. We're a few days away from both of these fighters risking it all to see who the best really is. And for that, I have a great deal of respect for.
2 possibilities, each historic. Either the 4-belt lightweight champion isn't even really a lightweight, but is without question the greatest fighter of the post-Mayweather world, or we see the birth of a new superstar.
In only their 16th professional fight, Teofimo Lopez looks to get into rarefied air. For Vasily Lomachenko, it's the dream of holding all 4 belts. And all those belts are right there with Joe Tessitore, who will soon have the fighters right next to him.
Thank you, Bernardo. These are the belts. It is all on the line come Saturday night. And obviously, this does not take the traditional form of what would be a mega event, big fight week final news conference. But then again, nothing has taken traditional form in the sport this year or in the world. But we move on. We fight on, and 2 of the best do that this week here in Vegas. Typically, we would be at the big arena. There would be thousands of fans, and the atmosphere would be rowdy. Today, we get the gift of having a good, solid conversation on the fight that within boxing circles has the most buzz of any fight we have had in recent years. Best versus best. So in the next half hour, we will do that with both Lomachenko and Lopez. We do have questions from media all over the world that we will have throughout the course of this conversation. I look around, perhaps 20 people in the audience between the promoters, the staffs, the camps, everybody here COVID tested inside the bubble. Let's waste no time. Let's bring out the champs. And first, one of the most dynamic young fighters in the sport today. The guy who just 2 years ago was the prospect of the year. And here we are 2 years later, and now he's the undefeated IBF lightweight champion of the world. Please welcome Teofimo Lopez.
Put him in front of me, and I'll beat him.
I'm top bill, something different from the gates. Built ram tough, you can see it in the greats. I'm the one they watch, you can see it in their face. If their hands get to moving, it's the time and the place. Those repercussions got you second guessing. Sin City flashing gliders if they need a lesson. I swear they saw Matilda, my professional advice is you better play nice if you think we stressing.
The champ is here.
I have arrived.
The champ is here.
Holla.
The champ is here. The champ
I'ma
is
kill him with
here.
the first verse, and I'ma
champ
bury
is
him with the
here.
second.
The champ is here.
Watch.
The champ is here.
Thinking that you better than me?
The champ is here.
Nah, boys, plain to see.
The champ is
Hate
here.
the song when I step in the room.
The champ is here.
Jaws drop when they see what I do. I'm addicted to success. There's no rehab. Try to cure my addiction, I'll relapse.
Welcome, champ.
How you doing?
You come out in the classic, the champ is here. Ali, you got the, I'll give you a little there. We are socially distanced and our protocols allow for the masks being off up here on stage. So you got the iconic, the champ is here chant. You got the iconic old school Mickey Mouse sweatshirt there, and you're looking to become an icon in this sport. Hey, listen, it's been a long time of thinking about this fight, and now you're here. How does it feel? You're up on this stage right now.
I'm blessed, man. That's all I can say. I'm blessed, and hard work pays off. 18 years in, and it's just the beginning. This really just is the beginning. You guys haven't seen anything yet, and I'm just thankful. I'm grateful more than anything, and I give all this to God first.
And this stage for this unconventional news conference right now here inside the bubble will transform into the ring where you will try to become the undisputed champion of the world. What do you say we bring out your rival as we welcome the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, the 3-division world champion, the current WBO, WBA, and the WBC franchise lightweight champion of the world, Vasily Lomachenko.
4 belts, it means you are the best. You are 1 world champion, not 4 world champions.
Sitting by 45 like I'm Jordan on the floor. Here we go, against the greatest, what they say my name for. Holla at the kid, if you want it, you can get it. Haters swear that I be flexing, I'm just riding around my city, bank account a champ model. Sitting pretty, I just had to let them know, I'm unforgettable.
Vasily, good to see you. Nice always to have these conversations with you on these big fight weeks, as we have done many times in the recent past. Before we get started, I want to congratulate both of you for even being here right now, for making the best possible fight at the best possible time, when the sport needs it, when the fans demand it, and with everything everybody has been through this year, to know you're willing to do this. You're giving the fans, you're giving the sport what it wants and what it deserves. Do you guys have a sense of how much this means to everybody in the sport to have the two of you together here in the middle of a pandemic, not on pay-per-view, free on ESPN? Do you get a sense of how much this fight means to everybody, Vasily?
Of course.
You're good, you're mic'd up.
Okay. Of course, it's a very good, a very big fight for people who love boxing, who understand boxing, for fans. And I think it will be a very historical fight.
There's no doubt about that. What about you, Teo, in terms of what you hear when people talk to you about this fight, in terms of just what it means to them?
Man, it's everything and everything. I mean, it's the best fighting the best, and that's what it comes to, you know, all the belts. This is all on the line, and what better way here in Vegas, just like everything else, all in.
Let's talk about all the belts. Here they are, 4 on the line. History being made here. The first 4-belt lightweight championship fight that the sport has ever had. When you look around and you think to yourself, I win this fight, I'm gathering all of this. How much does that matter to you in defining your legacy?
Then I came to professional boxing. I always want to be undisputed world champion, and I always want hold 4 belts. I was trying to do this in 126. After that, I go up and I was trying 130, and now I close to my dream, 135.
Is there a part of you that's sitting there saying, how would I put them all on? How would I get them? Post-fight there.
Of course.
Let's take our first media question of the night, and it comes from Dan Canobio at CompuBox TV. And Teofimo, he's asking you, and Dan says, with a win, you'll be the youngest fighter to become a 4-belt champion. What would being the face of the sport for the entire next generation mean to you?
Everything. I mean, that's where the takeover comes in. You know what I mean? Takeover is not just necessarily just a phrase that we throw out there. You know what I mean? This is a part where I'm leading the new generation. You know what I mean? And winning this is that stamp and that mark, you know, to put on for the new era. And that's what it's all about, you know. And I have everything in all to demonstrate that come Saturday night. And I'm very happy about it.
It's been 308 days since you last fought. So many fighters, obviously because of the pandemic, are dealing with long layoffs. Everybody's gone about it differently, and how much time you spend in the gym, what you look like in terms of shaking off rust when you get back out there. Loma, for you, it's been 1 year and 48 days. This is something that has come up a lot in people discussing this fight, the longest layoff of your career. Does that concern you in any way? Was there a benefit to it of freshening up a bit? How did you handle the layoff?
I'll check. It's Saturday. I don't know. I never stay 1 year outside ring. Now it will be first time, and I don't know.
You're in 48 days. Any impact with the long layoff for you in terms of your training or in terms of how you feel coming into this?
I feel great. You know what I mean? Yeah, for both of us, it's the same thing. We haven't had this long of a layoff. You know what I mean? But even though during the time, the quarantine and everything that was hitting, the pandemic, you know, I was still working out, trying to stay on that as much as possible. You know, I'm a big 135 pounder, so, you know, I always stay in shape. And I'm ready, you know, and I'm more than excited for this fight.
Well, speaking of training camp, you have made the comment that you said you want a challenge that'll bring out the best in you. You
Absolutely.
Put forth a training camp where you feel like you've accomplished that. You're also a fighter who plays upon emotions, who rides the wave of what an arena swell does for you. Your celebrations alone show that. This is not Madison Square Garden. This is not Staples Center in LA where you've been a shining performer. This is an empty conference room in Vegas with just a smattering of folks here. You'll be able to hear everything going on, everything being said from the corners. No fans. You feed off the crowd. How much thought have you given to that?
It goes for both of us. We're primetime fighters. It goes for both of us. He's fought in arenas that's been sold out. I fought in arenas that have been sold out, you know, and we drive off of that. But, you know, this time around, it doesn't change. It does not change. We adapt to it. A true champion can adapt to anything, and that's what we come to. And my job and my thing is to have all these belts wrapped around me after October 17th, after the decision, after the fight, whatever it goes to, and I come out victorious.
Vasily, have you thought about fighting in this kind of an atmosphere without fans? Have you talked to fighters who have done it or trainers who have been through it? What's your thought on fighting in a fanless atmosphere?
You know, I think we need just the ring judges and TV. That's it. And, of course, 4 belts.
Teofimo, you recently said, and I'll quote you here, "I'm not looking at Loma, I'm looking through him." Well, now you're sitting here 12 feet away from him, and you're looking at him. You're sitting in what will be a ring with him. When you're in his presence, when you look in his eyes, tell me what you sense. Tell me what you read.
You going to do this right now?
Что он сказал?
I look at it like this, like, when we, after everything, when we do our whole thing, the reason why I say I look through him, you know why? It's because in order to be the best, there's so much more to this than that. all this, I'm going to collect. I work my ass off for it.
Let's continue that conversation in a moment.
All right.
More of Loma and Lopez live from Vegas coming up after this short break. How experience could play a major role in this fight. We're live from Vegas, where it is winner take all with these two champions. By the time Lomachenko arrived at the lightweight division, he was already viewed as the best fighter on earth. Still, he was going against the grain of his natural size, but proving that sublime talent can outclass and overcome. It was May 2018 at MSG, and WBA champion Jorge Linares was ready for everything. A well-timed right hand against an aggressive Loma scored a knockdown in the sixth. But Lomachenko would just be much too much and too good. Consider that Vasily even overcame a serious injury in this fight. He tore his right labrum and had to pop his shoulder back into place. In the end, the 10th round TKO gave him the status as a 3-division world champ. In December of that year, it was time to take another belt. Jose Pedraza had claimed the WBO strap. But with exceptional offense and nearly perfect defense, Pedraza landed only 12% of his punches. Loma over-delivered. He was now a unified champion at 135. His most recent fight actually wasn't so recent, and it was tougher than expected. The tall and capable Luke Campbell put forth one of his finest efforts in front of a London crowd. Loma was still a cut above. He outlanded Campbell 211 to 131 in total punches. The unanimous decision victory made Lomachenko just the 4th lightweight champion to ever claim 3 belts. Back here live in Vegas for the final news conference between Lopez and Lomachenko before Saturday's ultimate showdown to find out who will be the undisputed lightweight champion of the world. Let's go back to one of our media questions, as we will get a question from Ryan Burton from Boxing Scene, who asks for Loma. You have fought many great fighters, Salido, Linares, Russell. Where would you rank Teofimo Lopez heading into this fight? How does he stack up to the others?
I can answer after this fight, after Saturday. I can answer on that question, but now I don't know.
Recently, you made the comment that you feel like you've never really shown 100% of your skills. Why is that? And is this the kind of opponent that will allow you to fight to what you feel is 100%?
We'll see. It depends what he brings in the ring.
What kind of style do you need to be opposite of to feel like you can put that forth? What kind of fight?
Maybe. I think it will be aggressive style.
Well, you've shown aggression in the past. When you look at the clip we just shown of Loma's recent fights, some of his previous fights, is there anything you take away? Is there anything you go to school on, whether it be Linares or some other moments, what Luke Campbell was able to do in flashes, anything at all?
I don't watch any of my opponents. I don't watch any of them. I let my coach, who is my father, and my assistant coach, they work on that, and they pinpoint everything. And then we work on it in the gym. You know what I mean? Because whatever he has done in that fight is going to be different against me. You know what I mean? So I can't just reflect off of who he fought, because they don't fight like me. So when it comes and it's all said and done, I'm not going to get the same Loma that had fought Linares or Pedraza. You know, so when we get in that ring, you know, then I get to do what we've been working on.
Well, let's show what you've been able to do recently. Here's the recent timeline of Teofimo Lopez. Power has a way of overcoming a lot in the fight game. And for Teofimo Lopez, he's ridden that God-given gift to the top. Like in July of 2018, when a 25-1 Will Silva was ousted, and a Fortnite-style backflip capped an impressive night. Especially considering that Lopez fractured his right hand in that fight. On Heisman night of that year, the world took notice. Lopez annihilated 34-win veteran Mason Menard. It stole the show on a night when Lomachenko was the headliner. Lopez's 2019 would include an absolute vicious TKO of Diego Magdaleno, a body shot beatdown of Ennis Tatley, and a less than stellar outing against the tall and awkward Masayoshi Nakatani. But still, the well-touted family prophecy of take a title,
go get Loma, was heard. And last December 12th would be the crowning achievement. In a showdown with the rugged and powerful IBF champ Richard Comey, Lopez made it look all too easy. A perfectly placed time bomb of a right hand sent the champ to the cliff's edge. The brash, fearless Lopez made sure to push Comey off the cliff. And he took what he always knew would be his, a lightweight championship belt at only 22 years old.
Everybody in this conference center had their eyes just glued to watch those big knockouts, especially what you did last December. Your head was straight down. Why?
Tunnel vision. That's not, I want more. This ain't, job's not done. That's how I look at it. And just staying focused. I don't need to look at what I've done in the past. I'm looking ahead and I'm looking forward.
I do want to ask you one question about landing that right hand, of scoring that level of a knockout to win a world title at Madison Square Garden. How did it change you as a fighter? Was there anything it did for you, whether it's confidence, momentum, awareness? How did it change you?
I've always had confidence.
No doubt.
Of course, really what it does, man, it just puts that mark that, I'm here, I talk a lot. Yeah, of course, I talk a lot, but I back it up each and every time, and I believe in my abilities. I believe in what I can do. And but that all comes to just having faith, man. I do what I do through faith. Having that, landing that right hand and everything, I'm ready for everything. It goes to show that I can hurt you with my right, I can hurt you with my left.
Vasily, you have, bar none, among the highest boxing IQs of anybody on earth. When you were asked about that right hand that he landed, that knockout punch, you referred to it at one point as a lucky punch. Why did you say that?
Because it was very fast after first round. They do a front, I don't know how to explain, навстречу друг другу и быстрее попал Lopez.
They were just going ahead each other, and Lopez was first one to land the punch.
What's your reaction to that when you hear Vasily say that?
I guess I'm going to be throwing a lot of lucky punches Saturday.
Let's take another media question. It comes from Gareth Davies from the Daily Telegraph, and it's for Vasily Lomachenko. And what Gareth asks is, he asks about the experience, big fight experience. In reality, does Teofimo lack big fight experience in your eyes?
У него есть, ты думаешь, опыт? Набрал он себе опыта?
He has amateur experience, a big amateur experience. Now we have the same professional record, or almost the same, and we'll see.
Same professional record, but obviously this is a 3-division champion. This is a guy that did things faster than anybody has. This is your first title defense. This is your first time headlining what by all accounts would be one of the biggest pay-per-views there could be, obviously free on ESPN this Saturday. But what do you make of the critics who point to your lack of big mega event experience coming on a stage like this?
I mean, hey, that's what it takes to be from a good fighter to a great all-time fighter. You gotta do things like this, and we spoke about this for a while now. Why am I gonna go back on my word? You know what I mean? I talk like I said, I talk the talk and I walk the walk, and I believe that I can, and I know I will become undisputed world champion.
There has been a lot of talk. Coming up next, we're going to dig into the seed that was planted for the trash talk leading up to this fight. More Loma and Lopez live from Vegas when we come back.
Lomachenko as a person, he's a diva, someone who thinks they're a god.
Что значит дива? Я просто, это, наверное, сленг американский.
He just rubs me off different, man. I think that guy really believes that he's a god. It's okay to think that you're a king or something, but not a god, bro. I'll smack a fighter or I'll smack somebody straight up in their face because you think that your don't stink.
Наверное, его во дворе не научили, что за языком нужно следить, и такие вещи, когда ты говоришь, за них нужно будет отвечать.
You don't faze me, and be ready. This ain't just words. You're gonna feel it with my fist.
Hey, Teofimo, you think Loma's gonna tune in?
Come on, man, he's scared. That guy moved from hotels because he didn't want to see us.
There's no other fighter that Loma has fight that is like me. Name one.
Lomachenko ain't doing The public don't give a damn about Lomachenko. People want to see a killer like my son, Teofimo Lopez.
Loma is on his way out. I'm on my way in.
Lomachenko over there breathing like 5 minutes under the freaking water. All that technique that he does with the numbers and all that shit, man. What you gonna do when my son pops your head off?
Teofimo's father says all of this started almost 2 years ago in the lobby of the Stewart Hotel. He said hello to you, and you apparently disrespected him. Do you have any recollection of that?
История была, я помню хорошо эту историю, и он может говорить свою версию, я сейчас скажу свою версию.
Teofimo Lopez.
И кому верить, люди выберут сами.
We was by the lobby. I just came up to him, shook his hand like a gentleman. I wasn't gonna say nothing to him. I said, "How you doing?" But I felt like he didn't show me any respect. You know, he like looking us over, like your son is not on my level. What are you doing? You know, just stop dreaming, old man.
Выпивший, после чего он там сказал, что мой сын идет за тобой, он снесет тебе бошку. Я говорю, хорошо, давай неси сюда своего сына.
I don't know what happened. I just got triggered. You know, maybe the way he walks, maybe the way he's so arrogant that he is.
People were calling me and pretty much just telling me like it was a big deal. Yo, you know, your father just like snapped on Loma and stuff. I was like, well, I mean, what did he do? What did he do to piss him off?
There you have it. That was Lomachenko after his win.
Он шел по направлению ко мне, они взяли его под руки, ну, как бы и забрали. Извинились, говорят, сори, ну, и увели его. Вот наша первая встреча.
Teofimo Lopez's dad, he's very outspoken, he speaks his mind. He went over to Loma like a man would do to Lomachenko's face, and he said, my son would knock you out. And Loma didn't like to hear that.
When I went up to him and I told him that that's something that I believe really deep inside my heart that he will be an easy fight for my son. You know, I really believe in that. I mean,
you know, I spoke with my father afterwards. I grabbed him, I pulled him to the side. I was like, listen, I understand that I got your back. First and foremost, we're gonna do our job.
To me, he's nobody. This kid's never been freaking hit with a good punch.
Lomachenko's a diva. That's why I look at him. He's a diva. He's a.
Ну и после этого он начал верить в себя, верить в то, что они действительно станут чемпионом мира, и они начали потихонечку раскручивать свое имя за счет моего, упоминая меня постоянно в своих высказываниях.
I don't like him, he don't like me, and I don't respect him. I'm younger, I'm smarter, and we're gonna see October 17th. I don't just say anything just to say it. I'm the type of person that if I say it's because I mean it. If anyone got a problem with it, come see me.
And now here they are, sitting together live on a stage in Vegas. Winner take all to become the undisputed champion in the best fight that boxing has produced this year. Vasily, when you go back and you watch that, the genesis of the bad blood, and you hear all the trash talk and how things have boiled up and risen up and some of your reactions, and you look across, why do you think Teofimo Lopez and that camp is trash talking you?
No, then I see this movie. Half movie I don't understand it, and because it's not my native language, and I don't know what mean some words, what is mean. But no, for me it's just words, and. Saturday, we will see.
Have you ever experienced anything like this with any other fighter or any other time in your career?
No.
Of this level?
No.
Teofimo, recently, things with you tend to go viral on social media, and recently there was a video of your heavy bag having Loma's face painted on it. What is it for you? What is it about making the statement, putting this stuff out there?
I'm an entertainer. I mean, everybody's getting this fight because I'm an entertainer, man. Just many people look forward to seeing Teofimo. Maybe it's not just probably that knockouts. It's the backflips, the celebrations. I'm just the type of person, man. It's all about entertainment. I'm in the entertainment sport. You know, this is where it comes to. So really what it comes to is, man, I like to show off.
Vasily, I know you said they're just words. When we watched the Blood, Sweat, and Tears documentary in the lead up to this fight. There was one quote that I drew out of it where you said, if I get a chance to cause him pain, I'm going to do it, and I won't feel sorry for him.
So yes, it's mean during the fight, if I find some good way, make some good punch, I will do it.
Is any of this stuff spilling over into Saturday night? You guys touching gloves, you're going about things in a normal way, or any of this emotion spill over into what we see at times Saturday night?
No, we touch gloves. He don't want to touch gloves, that's on him. But I'm going to go by the rules. Same thing, we got to touch gloves before we even, start the bell. So that's how I look at it.
Media question from Curran Batia from Ask the Experts. And Curran says to Teofimo, when we spoke, you told me that you don't respect Loma and he's not the people's champion. Is there any scenario on Saturday night that would change your opinion of Vasily Lomachenko?
As into what? Just people's champion or what?
I assume your level of respect you would have with him, having been in the ring with him.
No, afterwards, it's two guys thugging it out to be great, to become undisputed world champion, and may the best man win. That's how I look at it. I came out here and I busted my butt, to have this. It's all about the glory, when it's said and done. So people's champ, whatever he does afterwards is on him. What I do, I have a goal and I have a vision for it.
We'll put the trash talk to rest, the bad blood to rest. When we come back after this short break, we'll talk fight strategy. How will this fight play out? What will the winner have to accomplish? Live from Vegas, more with Lopez and Loma.
You've been like 20 seconds without throwing a punch. And then you throw those bull punches.
Diametric opposites after the exact same thing. Not mere belts, but existential glory. Family names forever inscribed in the book of boxing. If this is the age of the boxing fan, then here is its Super Bowl. Dads as different as their nicknames. Papachenko and Junior. The guy who says nothing, the guy you can't shut up.
There's not one man in this planet that can take my son. Nobody. From 135 all the way up to 147, 154. We're taking everybody.
One classically trained, the other self-taught, mostly on YouTube. Papachenko was inspired by traditional Ukrainian dance. For Junior, it was Kung Fu triple features. Each has his own idiosyncratic methods. One given to bombast.
That's like Lomachenko with that board. That is the stupidest thing in the planet, man.
The other, exact calibration. One thing they share, vision. It's not that they live through their sons, but that they want to live forever. We know they detest each other. What these fighters fail to acknowledge, however, is what binds them. Their fathers, they're each products of their father's dream, their father's ambitions, their father's master plan. For Vasily Lomachenko, it took shape before he was even born. But come Saturday night, one of these guys is going to stop being a coach and become a prophet. Joe?
Thank you, Mark Kriegel. Let's talk about the fathers, the trainers. Let's talk about the fight. Let's talk about training camp. Let's dig into what we're going to see here. Your dad, Anatoly, Papachenko. I love that nickname, Papachenko. You've said, my father has the plan and strategy. I just do what he says every time because I believe in him. How did your father approach this fight in that plan and strategy? Were things different for this fight or same old, same old?
It's like the same, but of course we have a little bit different plan, and we hope it will work with Teofimo.
I always like seeing the unconventional training that he puts you through, whether it's playing tennis or basketball or hitting the ball or juggling. Anything new in this training camp? Anything that he put forth in this training camp?
No, nothing new.
Let's take another media question. This comes from Kevin Ioli from Yahoo. It's for Teofimo. And Kevin says, many boxing experts say that Loma's success is related to his footwork, that he's among the best ever with his feet. How do you offset what is perceived to be a significant advantage for Lomachenko so that you can touch him and make him fight your fight?
The thing is that, like I said, I've only been, 4 years in the game, in the pros?
Mm-hmm. Just short. Next
month.
month.
Just short, yeah, next month, right? So, I mean, you guys haven't really gotten to see all of me yet. You know, you guys haven't really gotten, I've only been able to give you guys what the fighter gives me. You know, so I have footwork too. Not a lot of people know I've been a boxer.
You know, it's interesting because I think there's a reductive argument that's made when people try to analyze this fight of simply saying, oh, it's sublime skill versus power. Do you feel like people don't give you enough credit for your boxing ability, your overall skill?
Yeah, it's so much more than just being a strong fighter, just coming forward and throwing, lucky punches? I mean, the whole thing really what it comes to is the ring IQ. You got to be smart. I mean, 18 years, I don't look that bad. You know?
Another media question. This time it's for you, Vasily. It's from Dan Canobio at CompuBox TV. He says, this is going to be your 5th fight at lightweight. The stats show, the CompuBox stats show, that you've been getting hit more at 135 pounds than you did at 130 pounds, than you did at 126 pounds. Now, listen, I give you credit for being aggressive and a fun fighter at times that's willing to throw. But he says, how much emphasis has now gone into defense at this point in your career and with this matchup?
No, in 135 we have a different reach, a different size. That's why we have a different with landed punches. So, of course, it's more harder for me fighting in 135.
And right now, I'm sure the CompuBox guys are acknowledging, nodding. Yes, he's right. That does affect that. Teofimo, it's hard to discuss the trainers in this fight without reflecting on a very emotional moment we saw in the docuseries leading up to this, and when you discussed and you were asked about your father. Let's play it for everybody.
My relationship with my father, it's not the same. Yeah. Not the same. I still love him, but it's not the same. I think that he got too caught up with this whole boxing world. I have an on and off switch for a reason. And my father, man, I love him to death, don't get me wrong, but this boxing world, man, you gotta make sacrifices. You gotta make a lot of sacrifices, that's for sure. And I'm hurt. I'm hurt by the relationship that we have. I mean, we make the most out of it. At least I do. But I wish that my father could be my father sometimes, rather than just always my coach.
Teo, longtime boxing writer Michael Woods wants to ask a question for you. He says, have things smoothed out between you and your dad? Wondering if the dynamic could be a distraction leading into this bout. I will ask this question along with what Michael asked, and that is, with the unique relationship, can it actually help you having this level of emotion in a spot like this?
I love that man over there. I love him to death, like I said, and I'm always going to back him up. We, like I said, the dynamic duo. So I know that they want to air this out, you know, come fight week and everything, but I'm zoning that out. You know, I talked to him already. We hug it out. We do everything. You know, that's what a father and son relationship is. I mean, listen, if it wasn't, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the person that pushed me to keep going. And I think he could say the same thing with his father. And I'm very thankful for that. You know, I'm doing everything I can. And, you know, they want to break me down, but they just can't. They just can't.
2 fathers, 2 trainers who crafted, who molded, who said it would happen. And here they are, the 2 world champions getting set to meet on Saturday night. We're going to take a short break. Final thoughts when we return live from Vegas with Lomachenko and Lopez. We are inside the bubble for Loma and Lopez, the Wednesday press conference, live here in the bubble. Of course, come Saturday night, it is winner takes all to become the undisputed lightweight champion of the world. On Twitter, they're giving the poll. who's going to win. As simple as that. This is how it should be. 53% Loma, 47% Lopez. It's a flip of the coin. The kind of fights that should always be made in this sport. But this is something. When you look around and you see these two great champions in these belts and willing to fight each other here in the midst of a pandemic, in this bubble atmosphere, without fans on Saturday night, and not pay-per-view, free on ESPN. In just moments, Mark and Tim and Andre and the guys will be analyzing everything that they just witnessed, everything that they just heard between the two of you. Here you guys are, you think about body language, you think about sound bites, quotes, reactions, looking at each other's eyes, what was said, what did it mean? What have you thought of Teofimo Lopez sitting opposite him right now for the past hour of television when you're just days away of fighting for all these belts?
Переведи.
Что ты думаешь по поводу Теофима Лопеса, когда он сидит напротив тебя, и как вот уже суббота, значит, будет бой?
I thinking only about my future fight and about Saturday. That's it.
And what will that fight look like? What kind of fight are we in store for? I know you're hesitant to give predictions. If you want to give one, feel free. But what kind of fight do you expect?
For me, I think it will be like a chess match, I think.
A chess match, okay? Chess match with a chess master over here in Vasily Lomachenko. You said, you were quoted as saying recently, we are not going the distance. This fight is not going the distance. When does this fight end?
Tune in October 17th, you know, live on ESPN. And you guys don't want to miss it. You know, get your popcorn ready and just enjoy the show, man. It's a takeover against the high tech, they say. And two of the guys going at it. Anything can happen. One punch can change the fight, or one punch can end the night. So, you know, tune in.
You've done that before. You did that last December, and it was spectacular with dynamite in your right hand. I will offer you the same question that I just offered Loma in terms of the experience of sitting opposite him, a guy that for the past better part of the past year, and for you and your father and your camp, it's been 2 years in the making of saying, we're going to do this, we're calling him out, I'm going to win a lightweight championship, and I'm going for all the belts, and then 8 to 10 weeks of nonstop training, of pushing yourself past the limit, and now you sit 12 feet apart, live on a stage in Vegas, an hour of TV together. Your takeaway of what you read on him, what you heard from him, what you see in him.
I see, man, he knows it's going to be a fight. Like I said before, it's going to be a fight. He knows whether it's a chess match or not. You know, he got the ring IQ. I think he sees the ring IQ in me. And we're going to display it October 17th. And I'm looking forward to it.
We all are. Teofimo, Vasily, on behalf of all boxing fans, thank you for arriving at this moment. Thank you for this week. We can't wait for Saturday night. Of course, we will have live coverage of the weigh-in on Friday afternoon. But for now, the crew with Bernardo. Gentlemen, take it away.
Thank you very much, Joe, Vasily, as well as Teofimo. And a lot to digest here, guys. You know, it really caught my attention that when they spoke about the bubble, Lomachenko said, all we need is a ring, the judges, TV, and 4 belts. And for Teofimo, he said, look, man, we're both prime-time fighters, and we're going to make adjustments. What was your big takeaway from what you saw, what you heard, Tim?
Well, I think that both guys, they show a little bit of respect for each other. You know, I expected a little bit more talking from Lopez, but you can see he was calm. His demeanor was calm. The same thing with Lomachenko. He's always professional, you know, preparing for these fights. But, you know, it's very rare that we get a 23-year-old, okay, win a world championship, first title defense, come back, first title defense, and fight against arguably the best fighter on the planet. It's a rarity in the sport. I applaud him for that because we need more fighters willing to take more risks, you know. And, you know, if you beat the best, to me, you are the best.
The only way it can happen.
The only way it can happen. And so I admire the courage of both these guys here, sitting here, and I can't wait till Saturday to get it on. You know, it's going to be a great, exciting fight of very compelling styles. You got, we saying power versus technical. No, I think it's going to be technical with technical power from Lopez, and then you got the, you know, highly technical Lomachenko.
And that's what Teofimo said. A lot of times guys think I'm just a power puncher because he's got 12 knockouts in 15 fights. Dre, was it something that you saw or something that you heard today that stood out?
I would say this for both guys. They're both ready.
Yeah.
When I sit here and I listen to Teo, when I listen to Loma, there's not a lot of roaring right now. They've done that, or at least, Teo's done that, and that's not really Loma's style. I just get the sense from sitting where I'm sitting that these guys have prepared the way they're supposed to prepare. And when you do that, there's not a lot to say.
Right.
You're just ready to put it on display and show the world. These guys are ready. Teo looks in great shape, and he always trains, but he gets big in between fights, but he looks like he made the weight the right way. He looks happy, and that's how you can tell a fighter made weight the right way. You're a little grumpy come fight week, but he seems to be in his element, in his zone, and maybe Loma seems a little uptight. He didn't really seem relaxed. I didn't see him smiling. So this is as close of a fight as you can have. You probably got to give Loma a little bit of an edge because of the experience factor, but that doesn't mean much because these guys have an opportunity Saturday night to potentially put on an all-time great fight. This fight has these kind of ingredients.
Yeah.
You got confidence from both guys, but Lomachenko has over 400 fights total in between amateur and pro career, 2 losses. You got a young fighter in Lopez who he's not taking no for an answer, at least not easily. I'll say this. I'm not giving you my pick now. You got to tune in Saturday night. But I will say that the winner is going to have to go through fire. It's not going to be easy.
And, Mark, when we look at what Loma said, he says, look, I expect a chess match. And we already know that he focuses like no one else. And there was a certain focus from Teofimo Lopez tonight. In your final thought, please.
Well, I think that Teofimo expects Loma's IQ to bring out his. I want to go back to something with Teofimo and his dad, because we're examining like the anatomy relationship. It is a tempestuous relationship. It is a loving relationship. He is an emotional fighter, but this is as relaxed and as happy as I've seen Teofimo in the lead up to any fight.
Well, he's growing into his own. Up next, it's Vasily Lomachenko's fight against Jorge Linares from May 2019. And this Saturday, we invite you to join us for Lomachenko Lopez, a pay-per-view worthy fight that you will enjoy right here on ESPN. Loma, Lopez, winner takes all.